What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's time for Q&A number 3. Yes, wanting to do this for months now, and I got the questions kind of ready. I know in like FAQs and viewers' comments, a lot of editing goes into where you're seeing the questions and comments. I don't have a way to do that. I don't have a capture card or anything of that. I'm not using a real camera. I'm using my phone. All of my videos have been through a phone because I don't have money for cameras. So we're going to go through the questions in real time. I got my computer right here. I've got some chats opened up. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel and look up questions that I may have I've gotten that way through other videos. So I'm going to read them and answer them in real time. No editing, even if I fumble lines or whatnot. So here we go. We're going to start with the first one of 2 questions by my old school friend from, junior high, I think. Kyle Wright. I think that's when we first met each other, was like the 8th grade. Yeah, this goes back. First question is, what is your favorite guitar and why? My favorite guitar at the moment is this guy, my 1989 vintage Epiphone Les Paul. Why is it my favorite? Well, for one, it's my first actual vintage guitar. And the story behind this is kind of rad because I emailed Gibson about like the serial number because I heard this about this year of guitars, but then I hear it's this. And if you go to that video, I think it's in my demo section, or maybe it's random chats, either way. I do a demo on the guitar of how it came. Supposedly, a few people have told me that it's based on the woods and the headstock, and it was only made in that year. This is 1350 out of 1500. So that the history behind it, to me, is very intriguing. It plays and sounds great. It's just, the neck is just super comfortable. It's a slim taper. I know Gibsons have baseball bats for necks. This doesn't have that. It's a slim taper neck. It's relatively light. I've held heavy Les Pauls. This is nowhere near that. It does stay in tune. It does have, the dreaded G and D string issues, but compared to some Les Pauls I played, even my black one over there, this stays in tune the best, aside from the the Solar G with the Evertune. I'm not counting that because not everything has an Evertune. Most guitars have this type of bridge style. It stays in tune relatively well, and the neck is comfortable. The frets, it's got some popped up frets way up here, but I don't really solo that much, so it's not that big of a deal. So it's just the history of this guitar, just how it sounds, no matter what pickups I put in, whether it be active or passive or humbucker P90s, it just always sounds good. I can play this guitar all day long. I think when I first got it, I actually had it in bed with me because sometimes KJ will sleep in the living room watching TV, so I'll have a king-size bed to myself. This goes right over there. So that's why this is my favorite guitar. There are other ones here that are great too. My Solar, my black Les Paul, my white Strat, my old school Squire Strat from way back. So that's that. The second question is, what got me into music? I think it's just, we all like music on some level, but I think for me, I saw maybe the creativity. I think the creativity came later when I learned how to play. I wanted to get into music to be famous. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to play stadiums and tour and see the world. Has that happened? No. Not even close. The longest I've ever been on tour was maybe 6 weeks, I think. Something like that. Not that much. Never played a stadium. I played state fairs, and I played big places. I played Harpo's back in Detroit. I played the state fair here in New Mexico. I played the, I guess would be the equivalent of State Theater back in Detroit. It's the Sunshine Theater. I played killer places for sure, but yeah, I think it was just the fame. It was the glamour and the money, which I have neither of. So music turned into what it is for me now. Now it's something that I'm good at. I enjoy doing. Would I still like to play a stadium? Absolutely. Would I like to tour? If I had better health, yeah, of course. I would love it. So yeah, that's what got me into music, just straight up. It wasn't like, I've always had a kinship for a guitar. No, I wanted to make money and be famous. Because I played bass, I played keyboards, I've done other things, just guitar. I know like Steve Vai is like, always wanted to be a guitar player. That was it. I wanted to get famous playing guitar. Now, am I a good player that can get recognition? Yeah, that's arguable. Everyone's good in their own way. So anyway, getting off topic, kind of, sort of. But Kyle, thanks for those questions. Let's go to another person here, Bill Canfield, who I mentioned before in my part 4 series of hang on a second. Alrighty, so let's see. Sorry about that. Okay, Bill Canfield, who I mentioned in my part 4 series of my journey of 30 years playing guitar. He actually wrote a lot of questions here, so this is going to be the bulk of the Q&A. Let's see here. I have to go back a bit here. Okay, let's see. Okay, no, that's something else. Here we go. Okay. Nope, not that one. Hang on. Here we go. What are my thoughts about amp modeling? I think now too many people are amp modeling to where everyone sounds the same. The Quad Cortex seems to be the front runner of the amp modeling, and in my opinion, the Quad Cortex is turning into the vintage 30 of the metal world. Everyone uses it, everyone sounds the same. Derek, I know you see this. I know you watch my channel. Derek is the bass player for Blue Jay and the Pigeons. I don't like the Cortex. I hate it. Fucking hate it. And no. I don't like it. Straight up. And I know Kemper came out with amp modeling. Oh, that's profiling, actually, I should say. I know Line 6 has some stuff. Fender has some stuff. I understand the convenience of amp modeling. It's easier to record at home. You have to blast the speaker cabinet. You don't have to mic stuff up. It does it for you. I'm not saying it's cheating or being lazy, because some of my favorite bands use amp models. It's just not for me. I prefer... I know I just said that, and you're going to say, use the Boss Katana all the time, blah, blah, blah. That's not really amp modeling. They have their own amp sounds. Like, I can't make this sound like a Plexi or pick a speaker cabinet combo. That's what amp modeling is. Let's see here. Do you see benefits in using amp modeling over traditional amp? Yeah, I mean, there are still pros and cons to both. I think I already said it. Yeah, the amp modeling, you can go directly into the interface. You don't have to have, your cabinets in a separate room. You don't have to soundproof stuff. You can have it sound like a cabinet or a guitar amp without having to do all the hard work. Benefits of, let's see, a traditional amp. It's something about having a cabinet just push that sound in that air. Like we just did, Blue Jay and the Pigeons just did our demo, our record, if you want to call it that. I used a hybrid of both because we were in the room together. Me, Derek, Wes, and KJ. We were all in the room capturing the drums, and so there's no audio bleed. We used the record out. The cabinets were there when I did my guitars live. We mic'd this up and cranked this amplifier. It was amazing just to hear this 412 just hit the room. So there's the feel of live cabinets versus amp modeling. Whatever you use it live. I actually, you know what? I used the old Digitech GSP 1101 preamp, which was an amp modeler. It was primitive, new back then. Now you can't, it's so outdated, there's no point to even own it, in my opinion, because the sounds that they capture, like the Mesa amp and the Marshall amps, sound nothing like what's out now. It's crazy how accurate amp modeling has become. I'll give it that. It sounds almost, you can almost do a comparison and you can't almost tell the difference between a real amp and an amp modeler. That's how great it was. Back then, you could tell the difference. I used the GSP 1101 preamp for my band Nexus Elementa at the time. When I was in Andraco, I used it for just effects. When I was in Blame It on Rebecca, I had an orange amp and I just used the effect part in the effects loop of the orange amp. So yeah, I would. But then again, with nowadays stuff, it's like, okay, I take an amp modeler live, I still need cabinets. Unless I trust the sound man to make me sound good through the monitors. No thanks. So that's one of other questions. Okay, let's see here. EVH once said, tone comes from the fingers. I agree with that. I think sound is in the hands. And I have an example of this. My stepdad and I played a show once and we're a guitar duo. It's just me and him, backing tracks. We decided for one song to switch seats. I think, did we switch guitars? We did. We switched everything. You know what I mean? We just not everything. We just like, here's my guitar, here's your guitar. I don't mean everything, my bad. Again, no script, going right off this. His rig was an analog Mesa Boogie Rocket 44, some analog pedals. At the time, I had the Digitech 1101 preamp. And this 80s hairband rig, power amp, preamp, effects, switchboards, all this. It was a digital rig, if you will. And when he played through my stuff, I played through his stuff. It still sounded like me through him and his stuff, and his, him playing my stuff. It sounded like him, because we're gonna hit the strings differently. We're gonna hit harder or softer. We're gonna press differently. Now I know with high gain, it's really hard to really decipher who's playing what. But I believe that if I were to hear an Eddie Van Halen solo and a Jeff Loomis solo, I'm going to be able to know who it is based on how it sounds without even seeing it. So I am a believer that these help the tone. I got to pick up my hand because my guitar's right here. These help the tone. It's one of the many factors of your personal sound. Speakers have the overall outcome because that's what's coming out. But it starts here. It starts here, goes here, there, these strings, cables, pickups, whatever. Yeah, I believe in that full-heartedly. Let's see, do you think tone is a combination of technique and hardware? Let's see if I can answer that properly. I may not understand the question. Is tone a combination of technique and hardware? I think what you mean is doing all the fancy Eddie stuff and hardware, gear. Possibly. I mean, I can grab a shitty Squier, which I have, and still sound good. I think that could be just the 3 decades I've been playing guitar. I've developed my technique because what I want to hear. I know Yngwie said it. That's why he picks note for note, because it's what he hears in his head. And even Steve Vai comments on Billy Joe Armstrong saying when he does a chord, every note pops, which is hard to do. But he had that technique in his head. So, but they can do that on any guitar. So I'm probably not answering the question correctly. I'm just not understanding it. If I did, great. Let me know, Bill. Let's see. You have more questions. In regards to music production, let's see. In a studio, do you think it's important to be able to recreate studio effects in a live setting? Or do you prefer to keep it organic while on stage? See, it's ironic you mentioned this, because I try to write my guitars without effects. To where if it's on the record, if there's certain effects that have to be there, for instance, the song I'm in Love with a Ghost, it has an analog chorus effect that this can't do. So situations like that, I'll add it to the song. But for instance, keyboards, we layer the crap out of them. KJ plays what he does, and Jeff added his stuff. Santa Baby is an example of that. We're not going to do it live, but for the record, there's the extra violins that are in that song, the original version and our cover. There may be an extra, certain type of sound that's not in the original song. There's no guitar in that song. So I think if it sounds cool in the record, great, but there's been very few times when I've seen shows where like, oh, I missed that guitar effect for that part. Or where's that cool synth line that I heard on the record? You can do cool stuff in the studio. I think live, try to keep it simple so you have less stuff to worry about. Unless you have to have that effect, like that chorus, I can do the song, it lacks, but I can do the song without that effect. So live, have fun. Make it whatever sounds good on the record to get the listener to listen to your stuff. Live, they're gonna come see you live, you get the energy going, you get the song going. My experience is 90% of the time, I really don't care if that guitar effect or a certain keyboard pattern or whatnot, or background vocal isn't there. Oh well, I can go listen to the record if I want to hear that. Let's see. Okay, more questions from Bill. This is awesome. Okay, he says 2 more, and then we'll try to go to YouTube and see what I can find for questions based on video responses. All right, favorite pickups. Single coil humbuckers, P90s, or other. Okay. Right now, I'm really digging the EMG Retro Active line. One of my favorite pickups, I've said this before, is the Seymour Duncan JB, Seymour Duncan Black Winter, the DiMarzio PAF Master, the DiMarzio Fast Track 2, the EMG 57, 707, and the Retroactive 77. And the, what do you call it? The Phantom P90, the P90 in a humbucker case by DiMarzio. Those right now are my favorites just because they sound great. Now, am I using all of them in different guitars? No. All my Les Paul guitars, I do that because Solar's not a Les Paul, but you know, if you know, you know. They all have EMGs. In fact, this is the Retro 77. The Solar has the Retro 77-7, which I made demos on. Go check them out in the demos playlist. The Black Les Paul has the 57-66, which sounds good. I use that on, I think I used that. 90% of the Blue Jay demo was that guitar. The other 10% was the Solar because of the Evertune. The 57's good. It's really hot. And I'm tempted to actually get the 77 for that one, just so I can have the same consistent volume if I have to switch guitars, because it is hotter, it is louder. I don't want to have to go back to my amp and dial stuff back and adjust, especially live. You just want to keep going. You don't want to have to wait, I got to adjust my volume because I have a guitar that's louder than the other one. So I think that makes sense. I think I'm going to do that for sure, is get the 77 for the Black Les Paul. The Strats are set with DiMarzio's passives, double rail or rail hum canceling, a couple single coils. I'm not going to switch EMGs for those just because it's a hassle, because I know I said because twice in a sentence. Of course, this is not set up for active, so I got to take off the plate to get to the battery. Same thing with the Solar. The Black Les Paul came with actives previously, so it already has a little battery slot. To change batteries in my Strats, I have to take off the entire front pickguard. So that's not happening, just because that's really inconvenient and just a pain in the ass to do. I have to almost change the strings every time I change the battery, so I'm not going to bother with that. So I love the Seymour Duncan, the JB. However, the last one I have, which is over there. Oh, what happened? Sorry. I knocked something. There we go. That was weird. It was just too bright through my current rig, which is, you just heard the orange amp. I'm just rocking that guy again. It's back behind me. The Katana head in this cabinet, I used at a show outside. And the thing with solid state amps, I've discovered, not through me, but through someone who is a professional, the louder you turn up solid state amps, the brighter it gets. A lot of the low end just kind of disappears. So having a pickup that already has almost the bass kind of rolled off to where the EQ goes like this, bass, middle, treble, treble's the highest. Going through here, it's not bad treble, it's not ugly treble, but there was no real warmth to my sound at that particular show. And I've noticed that before in other venues too. It's like, why do I sound thin-ish? And then when I go to the high strings, it's not shrill, but it's like, that could sound a little better. So so that's just this amp though. If I go through the orange amp, it should be fine. But I have active in here, so it doesn't matter. The Black Winter is one of my favorite humbuckers because it sounded good. I used it in a pop band and it sounded so good. I know the Black Winter caters more towards metal and black metal and grindcore and all that, but it can be used for anything. So, and single coils, I do like single coils quite a bit. Not so much on the noise level. There was a time where I wasn't, I was like so against 60 cycle hum. I didn't want anything to do with it, but then I had like a 3-month bender to where I was using nothing but pickups with 60 cycle hum because I was really trying to dial back the gain for Blue Jay. I wanted to just be not a softer tone, but really just, I guess, as organic as possible. But I prefer hum canceling single coils. There's something about those that you just can't get with the humbucker. It just doesn't work. The humbuckers I have in the neck position now, it can be a little thick. They could get a little muddy, but I like the output. But yeah, single coils are good. I played with one P90. It was in my Epiphone Les Paul Jr. and it was noisy as hell. to where I couldn't even use. I don't think I can use any of my rigs with that. I had to dial the gain back so much to where what's the point? So P90s can be fun if you know how to use them. I don't. Let's see. There's more questions. I think this is his last one. And then we'll go to some YouTube ones if I can find them. Let's see. Is it more difficult to start a band or leave a band? It's easy to start a band. You just try to find musicians or find friends that want to play music with you. Leaving a band can be difficult depending on the situation. I've had to leave one band once for health reasons. That sucked. I didn't want to, but I had to. I left Futilitarian just for simplicity. I don't have the money to get keyboard gear. I can't make their rehearsals. That was just more of like, that was an easy situation because both parties knew if there was ever a time I had to step back, it was no big deal. Having a band with close friends can be difficult because you get comfortable to where I don't want to say talk to them like they're idiots or have them talk to me like I'm an idiot, but you get comfortable like, hey, what the fuck's your problem? Which is a good thing, but depending on the situation, it could be a bad thing. I think the band Tortured Lovey comes to mind with that. I had close friends that I should have left that band or fired those people based on how we all acted towards each other. So staying in bands with people that are bad, if this makes any sense, you just want to go for the music, that doesn't work. If they're bad people, just leave the band. Which is why I left Blade Band on Rebecca. I doubt any of those band members are going to see this. The saxophone player, I don't hate you. The drummer who's not in that band, I didn't like her. She's not in that group anymore either. The main issue in that group was me and Rebecca. I left. That was easy to do because I just couldn't take it anymore. So, that's another band that I left. Not too many bands that I left. Let's see. I left The Extinction. I'm not going to get into why. I left Tripping Dogs, I think, for health reasons too, again, or something happened. I don't remember why I left Tripping Dogs. I've never been fired from a band. I can honestly say that. I've never been told get out in any group that I've been in. So that's reassuring. Again, so I'm taking the long way around. Starting a band can be simple. Keeping band members could be difficult depending on how you manage it and how you manage your emotions and manage how people feel and how you feel. Or if you're totally upfront and say, this is my group, my way or no way, it's hard to find people that want to put up with that. Unless you're being paid, but then again, you got to question question yourself for morality or core center, whatever the fuck it is. Leaving a band can be simple, so depending on your situation. So that's all the questions from Bill and one from Kyle. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Somebody just commented on one of my demo stuff. Let me see. What pickup was that? See, my notifications are so much now. I think one of them was it the Air Norton S? Nope, shit, hang on. Nope, not that one. God dang it. Sorry. There we go. Nope, that's not the right one. Let's see. Oof. Whoa, okay, my JB Junior demo, dislike one, that has a lot of questions here. Let's see here. It was 2 weeks ago. That was a year ago. That was 2 weeks ago. No, that is not. Okay. I don't think I really have any more questions. I think that was it. I know there's some YouTube comments I can go for, but I can't really seem to bring up those comments right now because I have so many notifications on here from, not subscribers, but like people I follow. I follow a lot of people here. Let me just keep scrolling. Maybe I'll find the one if it's down far enough. Hang on a second. How are you guys doing? If you have any questions for Q&A 4, drop them in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. That one just says very cool. That was my EMG demo. Let's see, what else do we got? Hang on a minute. Looking for my videos. And I'm sure there's a way to do this. I just don't know how to do it. Let's see. Social media links. I'm not really on Facebook anymore. Ever since after the election. I'm still on Instagram, kind of, sort of. I'm on Blue Sky. Find me there. I think it's Chris Kane Guitar. Here we go. My virtual solo demo. Single coil. All right, this person said, and maybe asked, it might be just a comment here. I installed the virtual solo by replacing the bridge of a special Texas set. Okay. Problem is that I have an electrical buzz since my luthier installed it. The buzzing disappears when I put my hand on the strings or any part of the metal of the guitar. So it also disappears when I close the tone pot. Let's see. While this problem, okay, he worded that wrong. He didn't have them with the Texas Special. Any ideas? I responded to him saying, dude, take that guitar immediately back to that luthier and say, rewire everything and check the grounds. That is a ground issue. It could be the guitar ground, could be the pickups ground. The virtual solo is hum canceling, so you should not have a ground problem. So that luthier, in my opinion, probably messed it up. Let's see. No, that's just a simple question. Let's see what else is other questions on here. Nope, that's a different one. Nope, okay, let's see. I think that's all I got because I don't see any other questions here from my videos. Let me scroll a few more. So I know we're already going on 20 minutes for this video. Maybe longer than that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. So I think that's going to be it, guys. So thank you, Bill. Thank you, Kyle, and to the subscriber here who submitted a question about a piece of gear. I don't think I even said your name. I don't think I can pronounce it. I don't think you're from the U.S. I didn't want to butcher your name, say it wrong. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I already did all the spiel. Drop a comment for viewers' comments number 4. I know I don't have many of these, but I love doing Q&As. I love chatting. I love talking about gear and guitar stuff and sharing opinions and whatnot. So thanks, guys. I don't know what's coming next. Yes, I say that a lot. I just did 2 pickup demos. I don't really have any money right now to buy anything else. Again, all my money has to go to the Blue Jay record and whatnot. There is going to be some space with videos in the next couple months. I'm actually going to be having surgery soon. I have a tear in my abdomen wall that I need repaired. I see the general surgeon next week Wednesday, as opposed to the beginning of April. So thankfully I was able to see him sooner. So I'm not saying this is going to be the last video for a while. It might be. I might do I shouldn't say might. I'm going to do the monthly solo challenge for my guitar school. So that may be my last video for a while, just so I can get fixed and recover. So thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Drop a question, drop a comment. Oh, sorry, coffee. It's time to practice. We'll see you soon, guys.